Right, welcome to the UP. We're on the gorgeous Lake Superior, and I've gone hunting for thimbleberry jam with the most amazing monk. And come on, who doesn't love monk jam? Now, I'm going to turn this jam into a stunning dessert. Now, these thimbleberries, they go fast, let me tell you. It's not the moose nipping them, it's the bears. If not the bears, it's the deer. And if it's not the deer, then it's the monks, because they produce the most amazing jam. So, I've got these beautiful apples that are grown in the same orchard as the thimbleberries, and I'm going to turn it into almost like a sort of eggy bread, French bread dessert. Now, start off with 3 eggs into a bowl. Okay, give that a little whisk. Just nice and lightly. A tablespoon of sugar. Mix that in, make sure it doesn't become grainy. Okay, and then literally a couple of tablespoons of heavy cream. Now, nice, thick, rich, heavy cream. From there, let that sit. Now, I know we're in the woods on the edge of Lake Superior. A little touch of honey in there, a little touch of fresh vanilla, but that is just enough to coat the bread, okay? So you can follow a recipe, but you should be cooking with your eyes and just making sure it follows through with your whisk. Too thick, it makes it all cloy and heavy. Nice and thin, it gets the bread nice and crispy. Let that set for a moment. Apples, look at the color of these apples. The skin is so delicious that we're not even gonna peel them. They're so tasty. Okay, so just a quick chop. Chop them too small, they disintegrate. It's a very sweet apple, but incredibly juicy. So you can get them into the pan and sort of caramelize them. The apples are delicious. Oh my God. From there, into a pan. First of all, we start off with our sugar. Sugar in. Now, just wait a minute and you'll start to see that caramelizing. About a tablespoon of sugar. But watch what happens to that sugar. Beautiful. Don't throw the apples in there yet. Now, a minute later, you start to see that caramel, okay? Don't take it too dark. Apples in, okay? And we're gonna beautifully give those apples a nice toss. And we've got the sweetness coming out of the apples now, and that caramel is now getting a little bit darker, but a lot more fragrant, because the skin and the flavor of those apples is delicious. Now the butter will give the apples that nice nut brown flavor. But look what's happening. They start blistering. We start forming that caramel now. It's breaking down, but look at the juice coming out of the apples. So beautiful. And then finally, this is a beautiful apple cognac. So beautiful. In. Oh my Lord. As that caramel starts to melt, a tablespoon of double cream. Beautiful. Now the small parts of the apple will turn into a bit of a puree that will thicken the cream. The caramel will start thickening the cream naturally. Bring that back up to the boil, and it will have a slight crunch left in there, especially for the bread. Now, bread. Get your bread in there. Don't soak that too long in there, just literally in and then off to the side. If you soak it in there too long, it gets too soggy, you'll never get it crispy. Okay, so this way we move quick. From there, a touch olive oil in. Get that pan nice and hot. In, a little touch of butter. Beautiful. As that starts to color, in we go. First slice, lay away from you. Beautifully done. Second slice, lay away. Again, beautifully done. And the third one, drain off any excess, and then in. Don't saturate the bread with the egg mixture, otherwise it becomes too soggy. So literally in and out. Now, as that's cooking, get tiny little speckles of butter and put around the outside of the bread. This is the kind of bread that I grew up with as a quick dessert. In the UK, it's called eggy bread. And then in France, they call it French toast. God knows why, because it's not toasted. However, touch of butter, that gives a nice flavor to the bread. Stops it from becoming too sweet. Okay, and then we're ready for flipping. When you flip these, you're only gonna turn this bread once, otherwise you're gonna break it. And here we go. First one. Beautiful. Second one in. Beautiful. And then you can see what that beautiful butter does. It gives that bread flavor. Okay, apples are reduced beautifully down. Now once the apples absorb all that cream, you've got that really nice sort of candied, almost like a toffee apple there. And now for the most exciting part, okay? Putting this thing together. Leave them in the pan. This is where that plain Jane bread goes up a level, okay? Big thank you to the monks. That amazing jam. You take one out, straight on there. Get the spoon, and you spread that thimbleberry jam on. Beautiful. Your apples, get them on there hot. And how cool is this? Everything's so local. Next, on she goes. Again, back of the spoon, thimbleberry jam. And then finally, got that beautiful slice. Generous those apples. And look, on she goes. And then finally, a nice little dollop creme fraiche. A teaspoon of my jam. And then the monks would be upset if I wasted these apples. Around she goes. And that has to be a delicious, amazing thimbleberry monk jam French toast sandwich, live from the UP. Who doesn't love monk jam? Now, if you enjoyed that recipe, please click the link below. And if you missed Uncharted, then please watch it on catch up on Disney+.